What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full Totodile evolution team. So, last couple of days we did the Cynical evolution, and I thought it's time to do the Totodile. So we got 2 Totodiles, 2 Croconaws, and 2 Feraligatrs with all different movesets. Now, I probably will do Chikorita, I'd say, next week, so that'll be all the Generation 2 starters finally done. If you want to check me out on Twitch, people, this is where I do all my live streams, Scene Teams, Pokemon Sweeps, Shiny Hunts, all the forms of Salty Entertainment. Come and check me out there. Let's get into these battles. This is a battle against Peeps a lot, and we have a Stantler lead. Good to see Stantler again. It's been a very, very long time. Okay, my first Pokemon is going to be Totodile. Now, this Totodile is a physical set, and Stantler has the Intimidate ability, so I'm going to be swapping the Totodile out and bringing in another one. More on this Totodile set a little bit later. Now, on this theme, I tried to make a mix of special and attacking sets, and without Everlight in the game, it was very difficult to make any super bulky ones as well, which is unfortunate. So we got the Stantler go for a lunge here, dropping my attack. That's all good, because this is a bulky Totodile with leftovers. I gave this max health and max defense. Even with that, it wasn't super duper bulky. So I've got Water Pulse, Attract, Substitute, and Double Team. The whole idea with this set is to infatuate the opponent, and then go for Water Pulse for some damage and try and get a confusion at the same time. Then you can throw the Substitute up and then start spamming Double Team. Okay, so we've got the Stantler go for a Zen Headbutt now. It's not really doing a lot of damage to me, but when you look at like the Water Pulse damage, I wasn't really doing much to Stantler. That would take a lot of Water Pulses to take it out. I need to get a Confusion, and then I just have to keep hitting it over and over. So I'm going to go for another Water Pulse here. For some reason, I outsped the Stantler. Then it uses Trick Room. So like, oh, okay, that might make sense. So now my Totodile is, well, I think it's not really much point keeping it in, because I can't do a lot of damage unless I confuse it. I might be able to bring in maybe my Croconaw or even my Feraligatr to try and get some damage on things. So I decided to bring in my Croconaw. Now this was the physical Croconaw set. Now, Stantler is going to be withdrawn here as well. So it's like, okay, and in comes the Carnivine. So Carnivine actually was a very, very big threat to my team. So I'm thinking here, okay, I don't know what sort of set it's going to be. I could set a Sword Dance up here because I know that Shadow Claw is going to do nothing. So I set the Sword Dance up, Power Whip misses. I'm like, oh crap, that's bad. Now, I don't really want to lose this Croconaw because it's one of the best sets on my team, alongside one of my other Feraligatrs. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a sacrifice here. It's going to have to be one of the Totodiles because, this Totodile is the Water Pulse one. So I just gave that, I sacrificed that one to the Pokegods. Here comes the Power Whip there, and that is the end of Totodile. At this stage, Carnivine can really do a lot of damage there. I really need some Power Whip misses. So I thought, okay, we'll go into the special Sheer Force Feraligatr here. I've got Sheer Force Blizzard, and I thought that'll easily one-shot it. Hoping that Feraligatr can live this. If it misses, that'll even be better. I got Hydro Pump, Dragon Pulse, and Focus Miss as the other moves there. Max Speed and Max Special Attack. Here comes the Power Whip from the Carnivine, and Feraligatr's going to get destroyed. Uh-oh, this is very, very bad. And I guess it didn't really matter what I swapped in there. It was, mostly probably going to get one-shotted. Okay, bringing in the Croconaw now. This is my, this is a Sheer Force Croconaw. I've got Ancient Power, Ice Beam, Scald, and Mud Slap. I thought that Ice Beam would be a 2-hit KO, so I went for Ice Beam, outspeeding the Carnivine, and it does very, very good damage. I'm very happy with that. And now we've got some a berry activation on the Carnivine, so it's going to be eating its citrus berries. Like, man, that 2-hit KO is turned into like a 3-hit KO. Power Whip misses again. I'm like, oh, I'm very, very lucky that missed. So, Power Whip's just one of those moves, especially when I use it, it misses a fair bit, even though, really shouldn't. So go for another Ice Beam number 2. Also, what is your favorite water starter out of all the generations? I looked at the Cynical one, it was a fair, it was pretty even across the board, but a lot of people did like Cynical. So is it Totodile? Is it, another one? I'd say mine would probably be, well, my favorite final water starter evolution would be Samurott. So I guess it would be that. So what would yours be? Leave a comment below in the comment section, drop a like on the video. I appreciate that if you could do that. Okay, so we're going to go for Endure here. This is my physical Totodile. It works on running on 1 health. So here comes a Power Whip here. It would have been horrible if missed. And now we've got the 1 health activation. So what I can do here, I've got my Salak Berry as the item, which is going to boost the Totodile's speed. Because its speed's really not that good, even with +1 in speed from Salak. So I've got Aqua Tail with Torrent, and I've got Flail with, 1 health. The other move is Screech there, but at this stage, I'm not really going to have a chance to use that. So go for Flail here. I knew that would be the best option against Carnivine, and Flail is going to be at full base power, though. I mean, Carnivine only had a little bit of health, but that would have done a lot of damage. So that's the end of Carnivine. Thank goodness that wiped 3 of my team. Now, the next Pokemon to come in is going to be Big Gulp. That's going to be the Pelipper, and it's going to make it rain, which isn't all that bad. I can actually either go for a Torrent Aqua Tail or go for a Flower. I was a little bit worried that Aqua Tail might miss. Like, they'll probably do similar, like, base powers and stuff like that, especially because the rain's up. I thought about going for Endure again just to see what move they were going to do, but I thought, well, if they go for some annoying status move, that will be a pain. So I might as well get as much damage as I can. So Flail does well over half health. I was actually happy with that. And it's going to go for a Tailwind. So I'm like, okay, I'm very, very glad that I didn't go for Endure, because then, you know, Pelipper would have been able to outspeed me. I would have been very sad because I wouldn't have been able to get another Flail off. Okay, Pelipper's going to go for an Ice Beam here, and that is the end of Totodile. Bye-bye, Totodile. Oh, also, there will be a brand new Pokemon sweep up tomorrow. Yes, it's a PIMPNITE Undercover. That will be up tomorrow. And there may even be another one up the day after. We'll see how I'm going, but there'll definitely be one up tomorrow. Okay, next Pokemon here is going to be Croconaw. This is a Sword Dance Aquajet one. I thought I could, you know, have this opportunity to set up Sword Dance. So Hydro Pump is going to miss, which is good. I don't know how much damage that... I mean, it would have done a fair whack of damage, but I definitely wouldn't have taken me out, right? So I've got a +2 in attack. Now, I've got I could go for another Sword Dance here, or I could go for Aquajet. I'm thinking maybe I should go for Aquajet, try and take Pelipper out. I don't think it was going to. I thought it'd be very, very close, but going for the Aquajet, and it's just quite not enough to take out Pelipper. Pelipper is going to miss 2 Hydro Pumps in a row. That was very unlucky, they're missing both those Hydro Pumps, and that would have done a lot of damage. I'd say both those Hydro Pumps probably would have been enough to take out Croconaw. I'd say so. Okay, that is the end of the Pelipper. Now, the next Pokemon to come in here... Oh, the rain is going to stop too, so that's going to power down my Water-type attacks. Is going to be Gorobis. It's great to see Gorobis again. It's been like ages. Now, Gorobis has pretty good base defense here, right? I've got Shadow Claw would be my best option. I reckon Shadow Claw will be able to 2 to 3 hit KO, depending on, you know, whether or not I get a critical hit and how they've, you know, built this thing at EV, right? So go first and go for the Shadow Claw here on Gorobis, and man, that tanked it so well. It's super thick. It's going to go for a Scald here. Scald does pretty good damage. You know, it's got a lot of special attack, and I was hoping I didn't get burned, because if I get burned, that was it. You know, Gorobis was going to be able to, you know, probably beat me in this matchup. Now I'm going to go for a Shadow Claw here. Shadow Claw actually gets a crit. Wow, look at that damage difference. And that is the end of Gorobis. So I'll definitely say so far I've had all the best RNG in this battle. Like, had those 2 Power Whip misses. I've had, you know, 2 Hydro Pump misses, and that, you know, that crit on there was pretty lucky too. Okay, out comes Sumo Sam, the Hariyama. Good to see Hariyama. Now, I can outspeed this, I know that. Going for Aqua Tail does very good damage, doesn't quite take it out, and it's going to go for a close combat ending my Crocodile. But that's good. You know, I did a lot of damage to that. It's within range for me to take out with virtually any move I have. Now, that is going to be the end of Crocodile, and Hariyama has got the Flame Orb as the item, so obviously it's got the Guts ability. Now, I've got my Feraligatr here. This is definitely the best set on my team. It's a D-Dance sweeping physical set. I've got Ice Punch, Earthquake, Waterfall, and D-Dance. So any one of my moves will take this out. I can just go for any one of them. Obviously, I can't risk going for Dragon Dance here because, you know, there wouldn't be a lot of point. But then they swapped Hariyama out. Now, that tells me one thing. Them swapping the Hariyama out tells me that they must have some sort of priority move. That's the only explanation, right? So that's the end of Camerupt. They just swapped it there, got sacrificed. And next Pokemon is going to be the Stantler. Also, they're going to make use of their Stantler with Intimidate too, which makes sense. So they've dropped my attack 1 stage. Now, I looked at the Stantler at the start. I'm like, this doesn't have a lot of, like, you know, physical offense about it. So maybe I could set Dragon Dance up here to, you know, not only patch the attack back, but increase my speed too. Not that it really matters, because I know that I can outspeed both these Pokemon. And I know this is a Trick Room set. So I was thinking about this for a while. Maybe I should just attack it, because it's going to try and set the Trick Room up. So I went for Waterfall here. It doesn't do that much damage, and Stantler gets a Trick Room. I'm like, bugger. This is bad, because now Hariyama can come in and take me out. However, Hariyama needs to be careful because it's only on a little bit of health. So I feel like they're just going to bring it in once I've taken the Stantler out. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to take the Stantler out. I'm just going to use Dragon Dance. I mean, what are they going to do? Lunge? Because Lunge is like, you know, probably a 10 hit KO, right? So go for Dragon Dance here. And I know Zen Headbutt won't do that much either. Feraligatr's got some reasonable bulk to it too. So patching my attack there from that lunge. Stantler's just going to keep going for lunge here, I guess. So lunge, as I said, you know, we're looking at like 6 or 7 hit KO, something like that. I'm just going to keep going for Dragon Dance and stalling out the trickery. Now, I still believe there's a chance I have a priority move, right? So Hariyama can learn Fake Out and Bullet Punch as priority moves. So if it's got those moves, I'm going to be in trouble because, you know, as you can see, Stantler is still going to be able to put me on low mana health before I can end this trickery out. I was thinking about a lot between these turns, whether they're going to try and slide in Hariyama, predicting a Dragon Dance and just coming and take me up. But I had to pretty much keep going for Dragon Dance here as well. Like, I didn't want to take the... It was sort of like, if I take Stantler out now, I've 100% lost. If I keep going for Dragon Dances, then I've got a chance. But they may also swap the Hariyama in here. So there was a sort of a lot of mind games going here. So Zen Header is going to miss there. I'm going to go for a Waterfall. And that is almost the end of Stantler. The Twisted Dimensions have worn off. So now I can go for Waterfall and take out Stantler. So it's going to be Hariyama versus the Feraligatr. And I don't have like lots of health either. Then again, you know, Hariyama doesn't have much either. So that is the end of Stantler. We've finally got into the real late depths of the battle. And out comes Hariyama. I know this thing has a priority move. So I was like, okay, if it's got Bullet Punch, I'm fine. I can leave a Bullet Punch crit, you know. So any of my moves will take it out. I can go for Waterfall here, you know. Earthquake, Ice Punch, all of them will do, right? So here comes a Fake Out. I'm like, okay, Fake Out does very good damage for me. And I was like, man, this is going to be very close. The burn is not going to take it out. It is able to get one more attack off here. I'm not sure if it's got Bullet Punch. So I was like, okay, I still believe I can live a Bullet Punch because I can resist that, right? And they don't have Bullet Punch. And that is the end of Sumo Sam. And that is also the end of the battle. A very, very close one there, right down to the wire. Thank you for the battle, peeps, a lot. And yeah, that was crazy. You didn't know what was going to happen there. I still think I probably would have lived the Bullet Punch, like, really badly. Like, it would have, I guess a crit would have had to take me out there. But anyway, let's get on to battle number 2. This is against Ujiya, and we've got a Togetic lead. Now, I don't know how closely you can listen, but you can hear its wings flapping back and forth. I'll let you listen. Maybe there's a little bit of music in the background, so you might not be able to hear. Okay, I'll go silent for a second. Alright, so we got my Totodile as the lead here. This is the Screech Endure set. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for Screech here. And I can drop the Togetic's defense. Now, as soon as I seen Togetic, I was like this. Oh, it's got Everlight. There's like, oh, it doesn't have Everlight because, you know, it's not in the game. It's like, I guess it's like a thing you can see all the time, right? So it's going to go for Metro, and it gets a loose storm off the bat, right off the ripper. And I can tell you what, that is the end of Totodile. Man, that's such an unlucky first turn. They're rolling a really powerful special grass type move there. I was going to go for the Aqua Tail after that and do lots of damage. Anyway, that's the end of Totodile, poor Totodile, and I'm going to bring my Croconaw in now. So Ryu had this thing as -2 in defense. So I was like, let's just go for Aqua Tail here and take it out. It should be able to be a one-shot, and it is, because there's not Everlight stuff. So bye-bye, Togetic. That was payback for that brutal Leaf Storm. Next Pokemon is going to be the Stantler, another Stantler. So I was like, okay, and it's going to have Intimidate. Well, that's going to drop my attack. So this matchup isn't really that good for Croconaw anymore, and I'm going to swap out. So this time I'm going to swap in this is my special Croconaw from earlier on, and Stantler is going to go for Thunder Wave. So as soon as I seen Thunder Wave, I had a feeling they might be running something super scummy, like maybe, you know, maybe like a flinching set or something like that. So I do have Ancient Power and Ice Beam, but Ancient Power is going to be risky because I'm going to need to get like a lucky boost here. So I thought I'm going to take the risk here because I don't think I'm going to win this matchup. I think they're going to have, so they've got Stomp. So Stomp does a lot of damage and has a chance of flinching too. Somehow I get through with Ancient Power on the Paralysis too. I did do a lot of damage, but I got an Ancient Power boost. So like, wow, that was like exactly what I wanted right there, because now my Water move will do a lot of damage there. So this is a scumbag set. They've got Bite and Stomp and Thunder Wave. I was like, wow, there's no way I'm probably going to get through this. And the other move they got is Zen Headbutt too. Doesn't do a lot of damage. I get through both of the Scum again, fire a Skull, I think, out of my neck. And that took the Stantler out. I was like, wow, that was so lucky. Like, normally that Stantler, you know, most of the time would have won that matchup. Okay, next Pokemon is going to be Sceptile. This is a very scary Pokemon. It's going to go for a Bullet Seed. That doesn't take me out in the first one, but it's sure going to take me out on the second one. Now, I do have a Pokemon that can deal with that. and take it out, but I'm going to take a lot of damage. If I get hit by 5 bullet seeds, yeah, it's going to be very bad, but I feel like this Croconaw can take it. So I've got the Ice Beam here. It's going to do some good damage, and you got the, sorry, this is my Sword Dance one. I've got Sword Dance and Shadow Claw, so I thought, let's go for Shadow Claw. Let's get some initial damage on it, right? I do have Feraligatr in the back too of Ice Punch. However, they swapped out and went into Salamence for Intimidate. I'm like, oh, no. So that's going to be my physical set, like, ruined again, like, this Intimidate Pokemon, man. So go for Shadow Claw. It does nothing to Salamence. I mean, what can I do here? Like, do I swap into another Pokemon? Do I try and set a Sword Dance up? I really don't have a lot to hit a Salamence either, right? And Salamence hits very, very hard. I don't even know what sort of set this is going to be. So I swapped out with a Croconaw, and then I went into the Totodile. So I thought, okay, this Totodile is going to be, you know, another sacrifice, right? It's going to go for a Dragon Breath. I'm like, what? It's another troll set. Dragon Breath does so much damage to me. I was like, that had to be a crit because I was quite bulky. And it paralyzed me too. What the heck? So I've got the leftovers. Don't worry, I've got the leftovers on Totodile. It's going to, you know, make so much, you know, difference to this battle, right? And now Salamence can just go for Dragon Breath again. I can't do anything. I don't really want to swap out and get, you know, paralyzed by Dragon Breath again, right? So I went for Water Pulse here, and it's going to go for a Disrespect Hydro Pump. That was very, very mean right there, doing that to poor Totodile. Like, it got destroyed in both battles. This is the thing, it's very hard to make these baby Pokemon work without Everlight, but it is what it is, right? We're going to go to Feraligatr now. I have the Blizzard with sheer force all ready to go, and it's going to do a lot of damage there, right? Lots and lots of damage. Now, I thought, I've got Choice Specs as the item too, if I didn't mention that. I do have Dragon Pulse, but I thought, no, I'm going to go for Blizzard, because if Sceptile comes back in, I am going to, like, destroy that, right? So Salamence is going to go for a Hyper Beam. I'm like, what the heck? So it had Dragon Breath, Hyper Beam, and Hydro Pump. Interesting set. That does a lot of damage to my Feraligatr. I'm going to go for Blizzard. And they've got a Yucky Berry. Oh, what the hell? So Yucky Berry is going to activate, but I still one-shot them because I was running a Choice Spec Sheer Force set. But that is the end of the Hyper Beaming, Hydro Pumping, Dragon Breathing Salamence. So next Pokemon is going to be the Octillery. Now, this thing was a pain in the ass, right? So I went for Blizzard to go for just some damage, and it's going to go for a Octazooka. So Octazooka's not going to take me out, but it is going to drop my Axie. Now, I don't really want to swap into this thing because it's going to drop my Axie, and maybe I might be able to go into my Dragon Dance Feraligatr and just set up on this thing. So Moody is really annoying because it randomly, like, raises a stat and drops another one, right? So if you get really, really unlucky here, you can be facing, like, a super powerful Pokemon in no time, or just really, really bulky. So going for Blizzard again does very good damage like I knew that it would, and we got the Octillery going for Octazooka. I could have swapped Feraligatr out, but I didn't want to, you know, take any other additional damage on my Pokemon because I was happy with how that was going to be, and I thought I could definitely use my Feraligatr, the Dragon Dance one, to, you know, defeat the Sceptile. Well, that was the plan anyway. Whether it was going to happen was going to be like another thing, right? Going into Croconaw now. So, well, this is a great time. I can set up maybe Sword Dance here and go for a Shadow Claw crit. That'll be good if it gets any defensive boost. And I've got, like, plenty of time to do it, right? So going for a Sword Dance is going to be a nice +2 in defense. And I can either go for, you know, maybe a +2 or 4 Aqua Jet will still do reasonable damage to the Sceptile too. Like, soften it up for the Feraligatr. Now, unfortunately for me, the Octillery is going to go to sleep with rest, and it's going to be sleeping and it's going to have Moody. This thing got a lot of defensive boosts here, and it got a lot of, like, just general bulk too. But my last 2 Pokemon were physical users, so I just had to bust through. That was my plan. I got the chance to go for another Sword Dance. Like, no, I'm going to go for Shadow Claw. Let's see what I can do. And it does hardly anything. If I get a critical hit, though, it will do a lot of damage and put Octillery on, like, a low amount of health. So Octillery's going to go for a Sleep Talk here, praying they get Sleep Talk Rest, and they get Ice Beam instead, which is not very good, because that still does some very good damage to me right there. Very, very good damage. Now, the Moody's going to kick in, and Octillery's going to get another defense boost. I was like, man, can this thing stop getting defensive boost, right? It's going to be super hard to get around. Now, I've got a Sceptile back there as well, and one other Pokemon. So I went for Shadow Claw again, then they had the Quick Light activation. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to happen, right? So Octillery is going to go for a Sleep Talk, praying for rest, praying for Sleep Talk rest. And Octillery is going to be using the rest. I was like, great, this is awesome. I'm going to get some extra Shadow Claw damage off. Not that it was a lot, but, you know, any damage at this stage was better than none, like from my Feraligatr, right? So now they're going to get another defensive rise. I'm like, man, this thing's getting super tanky right now. I'm going to need, I'm definitely going to need my Feraligatr to take this out, right? I'm going to need a couple of Dragon Dances up. So I go for that move again, and I went for Sword Dance. I was like, okay, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go for Sword Dance right here, and then I'll go for Shadow Claw afterwards. If I get a crit, that is the end of Octillery run. Now, Octillery is going to wake up and go for an Octazooka, and it just manages not to take me out. But it does drop my accuracy, though, which is a little bit unfortunate. So now it's going to get another Moody boost here. It's going to rise its attack. And which is good. That's a good one to rise, and it's going to drop its speed. So, like, okay, that's good. The speed doesn't really matter a lot because Octillery's got Quick Claw, which it gets again, by the way, and is going to take me out with the Ice Beam. So, bye-bye, Croconaw. So now, all I've got left is my Feraligatr. If I can get this thing set up, though, I feel I've still got a chance here. Plus, I've got the opportunity to go for a Waterfall Flinch too, which I could get some flinches in a row, or like one crit will end this Octillery, right? And I know that I could take a couple of Ice Beams and whatever, like Octazookas and things like that. Like, I'd say I could possibly take 3 or 4. So Octillery's this time's going to swap out. I was like, huh? And I went for a Dragon Dance here, so I'd say this Rhydon swapping in here has something like, you know, Thunder Punch or something like that. So I went for the Dragon Dance, and that's going to boost my attack and speed. I can go for Waterfall now, and that will easily be able to take this out. Unless it's got something trolling like Focus Sash or Counter or, you know, something like that, and I'm not really expecting, or have no choice over because I have to attack. So I'm just going to go for Waterfall and hope for the best that it doesn't have any trolling moves, and it doesn't. So that's definitely going to be in the Rhydon. I didn't even need a Dragon Dance to take that thing out. So there's a Sceptile left, and there's an Octillery. So out comes Sceptile. I've got Ice Punch on this thing, so I know that I can take it out in one shot. And once again, unless it's got a troll item like, you know, Focus Band or something like that. So outspeeding, go for Ice Punch, and that is the end of Sceptile. I believe they probably would have been better keeping in their Octillery going for just Ice Beams and Octazookas. Sure, I might have been able to get through them, but it would have been very difficult. Like, I would have had to rely on, you know, a crit, a flinch or something like that, or just overall damage. Like, I don't know whether I would have... It would have been interesting to see whether I could have beaten the Octillery there. So Earthquake turned to be easy enough to take it out. And that is the game. Hope you enjoyed the Totodile Evolution team. I'll be back tomorrow with the Pokemon Sweep. Peace out, people. Catch you tomorrow.